also known as Mommy Bradshaw, joining us here today. So here she is.
Hey guys!
Woohoo! You're here. NowPower TV, girl.
I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. I'm so excited. So I am going to start asking you some questions. You know, I think everybody wants to know who is Mommy Bradshaw and how did she come alive?
Mommy Bradshaw pretty much is a combination of the popular Sex and the City star, Carrie Bradshaw. She's a combination of Carrie Bradshaw, Rosie Pope, which is a famous maternity line designer and book writer and TV show host.
Awesome.
She's like the motherhood guru that I love. So I came up with the idea because, you know, single old me, childless, I always reflected my life towards Carrie Bradshaw. Like every New York City girl does, they want to be Carrie Bradshaw.
Right.
But now, you know, I became a mother and I was like, okay, well, I'm still Carrie Bradshaw, but now I'm Mommy Bradshaw. So that's pretty much how she came alive.
Well, that's perfect. I think it's so creative too, like the whole concept that you're embracing your motherhood, but you're still adding your funky fashion, creative side, you know?
Yes.
So I love that. Awesome. So my next question for you, Miss Mommy Bradshaw. What were your fears when launching the blog and your new venture and just everything that you had to overcome along the way?
I would say that my fears definitely with launching Mommy Bradshaw was, is this going to work? Am I going to be successful off of this? Or is this just going to be another, like, one of my projects that just, you know, went into the wind and, like, nothing, you know, came of it? So, one of my biggest things that helped me launching the blog was, you know, my group of friends, my circle that I had surrounding me, you know, just encouraging me and telling me, hey, just go for it, just do it. I mean, who's to say? You never know what could happen. And I think that definitely helped me. And every day I would just be like, you know what? Hey, if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just going to do it because I love it. And I think, you know, me and you, we started the book hive, and we were reading Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. And every week when we had our meetings, I learned something new about myself. I learned a new fear that I didn't even know that I had.
Right.
And I started, you know, uncovering things. I was like, oh, wow. You know, I've been so hesitant to do things in my life because I was just, you know, scared of being judged or scared of failure or scared or just intimidated. Oh, there's so many mommy bloggers and fashion bloggers because it's so in and so trendy now that it's like they're already doing it. So what's going to make me stand out? What's going to make me different? And that book really, like, listening to that audio every morning, I drilled it into my brain. Like, you just got to go for it. And you just got to live in your passion. So that's pretty much how I overcame it. Not that I overcame it because I'm still fearful every single day. But I just keep saying those mantras like, okay, Dior, you just got to do it. You just got to go for it. Who cares? It's not perfect. Oh, well, and that's it.
Like, one of the things that she said in the book that really stood out to me was, like, you got to embrace your fear. Because it's there to help you and co-create with you.
Yes.
You know, so fear is not all the way a bad thing, but that's awesome that you kind of, now you know how to live with it. And every day it's an overcoming, you know, you overcome it every day.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. And I feel the same with the book. That book, whew, I wouldn't be doing the show right now without Big Magic. Elizabeth Gilbert, you have to read that book.
Yes.
It's so good. And it's definitely opened a lot for me also. So I love it. I love it. This interview's getting good. Alrighty, awesome. So question number 3. What are the goals of your Mommy Bradshaw brand?
The goals, I'm still in the process of building my brand. So I don't have like a laid out 5-year plan, 10-year plan. I just know that some people that I inspire to kind of, you know, reflect would be Cara from the Champagne Diet, which she has a series of books that's pretty much telling women, encouraging them to be entrepreneurs, encouraging them to uplift one another, how to have a healthy mind, healthy lifestyle. And I want to do that, but I want to add motherhood into the mix. Like,
Awesome.
I want to encourage mothers that, you know, it's difficult. They kind of put aside what they want to do, you know, for themselves, their careers, because everything is invested in their family. And I want to encourage them that, you know, hey, you can balance it and you can still be a mommypreneur.
Right,
You
exactly.
can go after whatever business you want to do, still raise a family, still have a husband, and still just, you know, live your ultimate dream without being held back because of what society pins on you or what you should be doing and the kind of mother that you should be. Just, you have to live in your own happiness.
I agree with you so much. I'm not a mommy yet, but I see people, you know, they forget about themselves, like the moms, and it's like, it's hard enough keeping up with yourself without kids. Imagine with kids. So I can definitely see that as a challenge. And I'm so glad that, like, that's what you're aiming to do, to, like, uplift moms and let them know, like, hey, it's not over just because you got kids. You still had dreams before you had them, you know?
Exactly.
Like, one of the things that I really love that Beyonce said was that after she had Blue Ivy, she was like, you know what? I set my tour 3 months after I gave birth.
Yes.
She pretty much held herself socially accountable.
Yes.
And was like, look, I got to do this tour.
Yes.
Because you can't forget about yourself.
Yeah.
So I love that you're doing that, and it just makes me so happy that you're living in the moment and you're doing everything that you want to create your life. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Beyonce is like my queen. I am an ultimate beehiver. And one thing that she also said was, she said, my daughter introduced me to myself. And that really set really deep for me, because I feel like I don't even know who I was before I had my daughter. It just kind of like evolved me and changed me and opened up my mind and gave me like a new set of goggles and a cape that like I didn't have before. So I feel like when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my career and my life and my old job, I was just kind of like doing it out of ego and like, oh, I just need to be successful. And now it's like it means so much more, because it's not just for me. It's so that my daughter could look up to me and say, hey, look, mommy had a dream and she did it and she followed through with it, so that she could also be inspired by that. So it has more meaning now, and I feel that way. I didn't know myself until she was born.
That's amazing. You said it perfectly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, so next question. When you first started, so now we're going to get into the social media aspect of it. Now we know how awesome you are.
Thank you. Thank you. I try to be. I'm not awesome every day, but I try.
So when you first started, how many followers did you have, and how many do you have now?
I started out with, I would say 1,500 to about 2,000 followers. This is on Instagram.
Okay.
That's the main social media outlet that I use. I'm on everything, but that's one of my main ones. So I started out about 1,500 to about 2,000, and then from about November until I want to say April, I grew till about, I'm at 8,200 followers
awesome.
now.
So that's over 5,000 than what I said.
Yeah.
She's killing it.
It's a little over.
Wow,
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, well that's great. So can you give us 3 to 5 social media branding tips, or what did you do exactly to get your following to grow in such a short period of time? I know sometimes I'm like, man, I'm not following you. I follow you because you're not following me back.
Yes.
So what are you doing differently that caused that big spike in followers?
It's really just a science to it. I've always been really into marketing. I went to school previously for it. And then when social media came about, I was just like, this is all me. You know, it mixes my like tech part that I love, because I'm into technology and new things that are coming out and new websites, and then the marketing just all in one. So I started doing it for brands, and then little by little, you kind of figure out what works and what doesn't work. It really depends on your audience. And that's number one. You have to figure out who your audience is and what you're really doing, because people just like post. They don't know like what is the message that they're trying to put out there. Who do they want to like their pictures? Like for me, I want other mommies and other young ladies that are trying to be entrepreneurs. That's my kind of crowd that I'm trying to attract. Number two, I started working on the aesthetic of it, because it's pretty much like your portfolio.
Right.
Instagram, anything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you put out there, especially now in the digital world, it sticks and it stays forever. So you have to be totally conscious of what you put out there to make sure that it's always reflecting you and your brand. You can't one day say, oh, I'm all positive and I'm all this, and then the next day post some craziness that has nothing to do with what you're trying to promote. You have to be conscious of it. And I just started basically, I would say they call it Instagram styling. So if, my colors more or less are like pink and black. Those are my colors. So if I have a certain font that I use, the colors that I'm going to have is pink and black. If I use image sizer and I, edit the photo, it's going to have a white background, not a black background. And I just have to keep that consistency. And you can see more or less along. Even if you go way back into my profile, you can see how I started and how it started coming together. And then you're creating your story.
Right, I took a look at your profile, and like something that's consistent is like the triangles and the little, it's like your brand.
Yes.
So whenever I think of Mommy Bradshaw, I see those popping, very bright, colorful, that kind of thing in your posts. And I think that's such a big misconception with people launching businesses. They think, okay, that's my business. Here you go, people. And it's like, wait a second, what are you representing? That is really important because people want to, like, that's why I relate so much to Apple. Like, I'm an Apple fiend.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, I feel so good. This is my baby. And the reason why is because it makes me feel a certain way.
Yes.
It's really important to connect with people and your audience.
Yep.
So your target audience, your aesthetic, and then also connecting in a way that people can feel like I can relate to you.
Yes.
Like I love one of your blog posts that you were just talking about your whole, you opened up about how you had her and how you weren't expecting to have, your daughter. And that's beautiful because people are always like, oh, it's all glitz and glam.
Exactly.
No, it's not. There's crying, there's sadness, there's happiness, there's everything. And that's what I like about you in particular, because you share all aspects and all realms of your life and your personality and brand.
Yeah, I mean, it's real life struggles. Like, pretty much it's not easy. A lot of people, like you said, they post all these pretty pictures and everybody thinks, wow, everything's all perfect. But I want people to know I may have nice pictures across the board, but guess what? On a day-to-day, it's not easy. Being a mom, I'm tired. I'm running around, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm trying to, I'm not getting paid for what I'm doing, so I still have to work and I have to make moves and bills have to get paid, and that's the reality. And I want to connect with other people. I want them to be like, wow, she's doing it and she's in the same boat as me, so I want to encourage that. And another tip would be, like you said, connecting with your audience. I learned a lot of tips because I have been taking a course online through Coursera, and it's a social media marketing class done through Northwestern University, and it just kind of dissected social media marketing on a whole other level. So one thing that we learned about was this website called WeFeelFine.org, and like we feel fine.
You feel good. You feel fine.
It's crazy. If you get on this website, you can literally see what people are feeling all over the world. Like what people, it's a social media monitoring website. So pretty much these companies, they monitor what people are talking about all over social media. So you can click on different regions. You can put in, it'll have different emotions on the sidebar.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
You can see when people are feeling happy, when people are feeling hungry, what they're talking about. You could even break it down to your region, your zip code. And that helps you connect even more because, I mean, what people are feeling here compared to what people are feeling, let's say in, I don't know, Texas. It could be very different.
Right, exactly.
So, you know, I'm based here in Orlando, Florida, so I have to see what my audience here is feeling, what they're into. So that's another way to dive in and try to connect with people.
Yeah, I love that, you know, because I just recently did a Facebook ad. I just did the $5, you know, promote your ad.
Yes.
And it's just incredible, you know, how the target and how much more there is that we don't know.
Yes.
Like, if you're just posting on social media consistently, there's a whole nother geek squad behind the scenes that you can target your audience. So I love that you shared wefeelfine.org.
Yes. And one more thing. Another thing that definitely has helped build my following, seriously, is pretty much timing out your posts. You know, I use Latergram, which I think they just changed to Later now. I use Later, and I use Hootsuite. And, you know, because it could be very time consuming. And when you got things to do, and you're a mom, and you're working, and you got to cook and clean and just handle real life stuff, you can't really sit on your phone and start planning out all your posts for the week. So I try to take one day out of the week to really sit and say, what do I want to talk about this week? You know, what kind of styles am I trying to present for me and my daughter? And just plan it out. And you use these, you know, these websites, these apps to kind of help you time it out. And they do the work for you.
Right.
Like, you use them as your virtual assistant. Listen, I need help posting, so I'm going to do all the work, and you just do it for me.
I love that.
So that helps a lot, tremendously.
Especially for the people that, you know, maybe the older crowd or the people that aren't very tech savvy.
Yes.
Look, just hook it up to Hootsuite or Latergram, and there you go. You're good to go. You set up your post for the whole week, because social media can be very time consuming.
Yes, it
can easily get drawn in
and distracted.
Oh my God! Wait, I was supposed to post, and now I'm over here talking about.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I get distracted easily.
Mm-hmm. So awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I think that's a very helpful tip.
Yeah.
So aside from Hootsuite and, you know, Latergram, how do you manage Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat? Like, sometimes I get overwhelmed myself.
Yes.
So how the heck do you do it?
Pretty much you have to know, depending on what your brand is and what you're representing, you don't need to be on every social media outlet. And I think that's what a lot of brands need to understand from the get, because it is overwhelming. I mean, there's so much, like, beyond. Like, it's crazy. I would just, like, there's no way I can keep up with everything. But, like, where is my audience? This ties into knowing your audience. Where is my audience at? What are they on? Consistent. Instagram is the one that I use mostly, because that's where most of my audience is. They're on Instagram. Snapchat is a daily thing. So it's not something that you can time. It's in the moment. That's in the now moment, the Snapchat. Just don't drink and snap, though, okay? Because I've done it, and it doesn't look good the next day when I'm looking at my story. Like, okay, no, I need to delete these.
Oh, no, too much wine.
Too much wine and tequila.
How often do you post to Snapchat? Because I know that's the big thing, and I know that does target a lot of the younger crowd also.
Yes.
You know, they're on there all the time. I've snapped a few times, and it's just like, geez, I can't do this every day, but I'm definitely open to doing it. But how often do you do it every day? I mean, every week?
I try to do it daily, at least minimum 2 to 3 times a day. Sometimes I can feel it in my brain, like, okay, too many screens between the laptop and my phone. I would turn my phone off, or I would give myself like an hour or two of just pure human being realness of like, I'm gonna have conversation with you, no pictures, I'm just gonna have real-time laughs, real-time moments without Snapchat. You gotta give yourself that break, that detox from social media. But the good part about, let's say, Snapchat is you're in the now moment.
I love it. Well, I'm definitely going to be snapping in the now moment.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so perfect. It's all how you look at things.
Exactly.
You know, you got to just make it fit your lifestyle. Okay, so the next question is, you know, I did a little research on you.
Uh-oh.
I noticed that you also do social media services, and that's your separate brand from Mommy Bradshaw.
Yes.
This one is called Media Socialista.
Yes.
I love that name, by the way. And you do social media marketing services for clients and brands or small businesses that are trying to kind of grow.
Yes.
So, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, Media Socialista basically started with a lot of people were just approaching me and asking me, hey, my boss, saw your stuff or whatever, and they were thinking maybe you can kind of like do some social media marketing stuff for us. And like it just kept happening so often, especially, I already had did it before. I had a passion for it. And then I thought, hey, why work for a big, media company when I could just kind of freelance and like do it on my own time and really invest in, I'm attracted to small businesses because I have that passion of like somebody that's really just trying to start a brand, right, that really just has that passion. When you catch those businesses when they're at the very beginning, they don't care what they have to do. They're all in. I am working with some brands right now. One of them is Be Rare, NYC. She's a longtime friend of mine. She's been wanting to start her own online boutique for a long time. She literally has, her house is her showroom.
Yes, I stopped at the boutique. Oh my God.
Yes,
she has everything. I love it.
Literally everything you could think of. I mean, from makeup to like umbrellas.
But good
like,
stuff.
Good
like little
stuff.
golden nuggets that you only find every once in a blue.
So, me and her have these conversations that we've been having for years. We've been, writing it out, sneaking into fashion shows and just running around and, chasing down these celebrities and just always holding on to that. We could be there. We could be doing this. It's right there. We just got to hold on to it and just go for it. And us motivating each other, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to help you out. It's a lot to, when you're a business owner like her, she does all the buying, she does all the wholesale, and she does all the communicating. It's difficult. Like, she don't have time to post. So that's where I assist her, and I'm like, hey, just tell me exactly your aesthetic and where you're trying to go, and I'll just help you. And that's what I'm looking to do with other small businesses, that they just literally just don't have time for it, and they're like, Dior, this is what I'm looking to do. This is the following that I'm trying to achieve. Can you help me? Yes, I can. Boom, and it's out of their hands. So
awesome. Okay, so next question. You kind of touched on this already. But I guess this is a thought-provoking question. How do you feel that you are impacting lives right now?
Oh, I'm impacting lives?
Yeah. You're definitely changing lives, believe it or not. Or whether you may not think it, but you are, because your energy is so amazing, and you don't even know all of the moms and people that you're touching, all of those followers you've gained. They have to follow you for a reason.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Like that you're doing that?
The pressure is on.
It's a good pressure though.
It's a good. I would have to say, I do notice that on different occasions when I start. First of all, I had to overcome my fear of just like speaking about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I used to get still do intimidated when people ask. This is the biggest question that is like, I don't know what to say. It's just like a big cloud of, so Dior, what are you doing? I'm a stay-at-home mom, but not really because I am working. And I'm doing a blog and especially like I would say, family members and stuff. They kind of give you the grill. They ask you 99 questions of like, okay, but how are you gonna make money off of this? And so what do you want to be when you grow up?
Right.
Things like that. And I felt that pressure. And then little by little, with help of between the book club and my circle of friends and, talks with my mom and, my fiance, he encourages me daily. Like, he literally would be like, Dior, like, what's up with your blog? Like, I haven't seen you post in a week or two.
Doing?
Like, what's up? Like, he's like, I'm a fan of Mommy Bradshaw and I want to read, like, what you're doing, what's next? And he would kind of give me that push. And then I started noticing that people around me, like, from, hairstylists to makeup artists to, you know, my mom even were just like, hey, you know, I kind of want to do something too. Like, me talking about it will have people like almost inspired. Like,
Right.
man, I've been saying I want to do something, and then I'm like, I love that I'm sending that out, that I'm pushing people to want to do something. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. This is how you got to start.
Right. But at the end of the day, I just want to see you grow, because we all grow together.
Exactly.
I want to see this world be a super peaceful, amazing place. It's
Yeah.
about pursuing your passion. And that's awesome, because I think that the way that you're impacting lives is by helping people pursue their passions, by you being the man and the woman in the mirror, making the world a better place by you making a difference.
Exactly.
So
Just got to do it.
that's awesome. Just do it, people. Do it. So-
Stretch.
I know. These chairs, these heels,
Yes.
it's hot.
Yes.
Alrighty, so what is these are my fun questions. I like to get a little well, this is not all that crazy. I was gonna go a little crazier, but
Oh no.
Alright, so what is your ideal version of the world, of yourself, and when will you feel that you have made it?
Wow. It's getting serious over here. I would have to say what is my ideal
Version of the world.
version of the world? This is a hard question, because we're just living in a time right now where it's very scary, and I'm very afraid of what my daughter's future is going to look like. You know,
That's baby Bradshaw
Yes.
trying to come in.
Exactly.
We'll introduce her soon. She's coming.
Yeah. My ideal version of the world is a world that's colorful and transparent at the same time. Meaning that it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you know, your religion, your race, your sexuality, that we will all be accepted as one, but also transparent, where everyone is just open.
Right.
Open and honest, and we're not out here trying to prove something to one another, and trying to outbeat each other, and trying to segregate, you know, the rich from the poor, the blacks from the whites, and
Right.
just be, this is just us, and